गुड इवनिंग. हाय एवरीवन. तो भाई चाय रेडी है कि नहीं? चाय. So without tea you are not allowed to sit in this session, guys. Of course we are punctual. ठीक लिखा आपने. We need to be punctual because photography is starting from P and punctuality is P, passion is P. So very important. Yeah, we have to be punctual. 8 means 8, sharp 8. So ये चाय तो बहुत मिस कर रहा हूँ मैं स्ट्रीट की. और होस्ट पार्टी मैं कर रहा हूँ आज टी की, बट टी आपको दे नहीं पा रहा. टी आप लोग अपनी अपनी लेके आए हैं, तो ये भी एक मजा है कि यू ब्रिंग योर ओन टी एंड कॉफी टू गेट इनटू दिस, राइट? दीपक जी, थैंक यू वेरी मच फॉर ज्वाइनिंग फ्रॉम ऑफिस, स्ट्रेट फ्रॉम द ऑफिस. ग्रेट टू सी यू. So now I think lockdown is now open up already, and of course next week we are also planning to start our office slow and steady because we all are at home and अभी कुछ momentum gain करना ज़रूरी है सब लोगों के लिए. So good thing about the situation is we have refreshed our vision already. And if you see, the rivers are also cleaner now, and you can also hear bird singing in our backyards, aren't we? So that is the positive approach for this lockdown. And our vehicle, our cars also needed some rest, and they are also resting out of our home. And great to see all of you. Welcome again, Dheeraj Paul here. We are talking over tea. So over tea means it's not only tea, it's about tea stalls, about street tea. So this is my table setup right now, right? So I am making the ambience for myself. So this is a small Chinese teapot, and very very precious, made up of special stone. Right, and then one teapot from Nepal. I have it as a souvenir, so I'm keeping it on the table to be alive on this theme, which says conversations over tea. Right, so चाय पे चर्चा. So वही करने जा रहे हैं. So आप लोग अपना चाय एक एक सिप पी लीजिए before we start. So चाय पे चर्चा is not only about just photography. It's thought came into my mind whenever we are on the street and we are searching for the pictures, and in the meantime we just pick up quick tea to refresh ourselves. So that time also our camera should be ready, because after all pictures are everywhere. So you just see how this tea stall looks, and you can get that picture also out of that. So this is one from one of my favorite location and photographer's delight location is Jodhpur, and normally we buy a chai masala also from a nearby shop. So those masalas are very very authentic, very very aromatic spice. We get it from Jodhpur. And of course from Varanasi also we get that kind of spices, especially for tea. So you can just prepare tea using those pinch of that spice. You will get the aromatic feel. So and that very shop, the story came already to the presence. Once when I arrived with we are doing a photo tour that time there, and we all were there, group of photographers, and I just came across the lady in green sitting just outside that tea shop, and green tea was written, and the color of the wall edge and the dress lady is wearing is just matching. Like it's more like a advertising style of a shot where your props and your subject is blending with each other, it's matching with each other, and then the white background is giving so much separation. So that picture I made, and then again going there to buy spices, and once I seen the shot which I am sharing, again the wall was there but no subject, right? So then I thought maybe I'll open the picture in my mobile, and we can narrate the story with these two set of pictures, where one you have the picture, and then other you don't have the picture, but the picture is in mobile and you are just seeing. So this is how when we go out, so this happens. You see your own images. So and these stalls are very, very interesting if you notice. See this one. Now this is one from Meghalaya. So now the young girl preparing tea, we were not allowed to go inside. No admission was written on the top. So we were little reluctant in the beginning. So should we take the image or should we not? Then the girls were smiling, and it means that okay, you can take the picture, but then keep distance. That is the call. So you don't go very close to especially ladies, young ladies, so that they will have a comfort level is very important for them. So don't overpower them. So this picture was made. So in the foreground the cattle was out of focus, and the focus was right on the lady's eyes. So this was one which was very, very candid image, because you don't know what happens next. So very important. So I thought maybe before we take your queries, I will just narrate you couple of things on portfolio. Like portfolio making is a very, very versatile chapter in photography. It is more storytelling. Photo features are also part of portfolios. So you make maybe 10 pictures, 20 pictures together, and it should narrate the story. That is photo story or photo feature or portfolio. So now I have picked couple of tea related images. That's a very small number, just to give you an idea. Like when we are on street, we are shooting barbers, we are shooting people portrait. So we are sometimes shooting just small art around the walls. So wall art can be one topic. So this is one topic where it's all about teas. So now see, it was made just at home during the lockdown. So one of my musical instrument, ukulele, was placed in the background, and then it's a door of my living room, and a lot of natural light is coming in, backlit from the window also it is coming. So two backlit sources, and then one white fill from the front, and you can see the glasses are also the same. So I'm having my second tea. What about you guys? So tea, glasses, and then ambience is very, very important. So I need to say cheers to everyone, right, for joining us every Saturday. So of course next Saturday would be a different theme, and I would be taking a very, very special theme which is very close to environment. So let's see what comes next week. So in the meantime, just grab this shot. This was taken in Shekhawati, Rajasthan. Very, very beautiful looking architectures and fresco paintings. So the chai wala just brought couple of teas for us, and he kept it there in the jharoka. And the jharokas were already very beautiful and full of colors and theme. So I thought maybe I'll just take a tight shot, and I was using my 24-70 lens, and I just banged a tight shot of this image. So I hope you enjoy with this, and couple of teas in the center. So now streets, bouquets, always in fashion. So this is, I'm holding the tea glass, and taken with a mobile camera, and of course the glass was very close to the mobile camera, and the background was just smooth, and focus was limited, kept limited. So this was iPhone 8 Plus. So we have dual lenses, so we get that kind of effect, which looks very, very cinematic, and it looks like more like taken with a your mirrorless camera rather than a mobile camera. So Kettle and Kitten together was shot in Varanasi few years back. And again, the tea stall has their own story, their own flavor. Some wall painted, or maybe these walls were painted by some foreign painter. He was staying there, and one day he did couple of paintings around the walls. And we go there every year, twice in a year, and we were just try to figure out and spot this same place. And then sometimes it is changed, or the shop is closed, so you get a different perspective every time. Again, one more coming up from Varanasi, and it's like the whole shop is lined up on the wall. You can notice like kettle, cylinder, and then glasses, bucket, everything. So these are kind of props when you see it on the streets. So only thing is, just that time you have to be very, very efficient in capturing these pieces. Like maybe you treat them as a still life assignment, a product photography assignment, not just a people or street assignment, because you need to see what is your cropping area, and what all are showing in the frame, and what kind of space you need to keep. So very important. So we need to be a versatile photographer all the time. We can't just rely on portraiture or just a tight or in the street. Like again, one from Jodhpur. So this was just a morning time, and Mehrangarh Fort is in the background and tea in my hand. So most of the time I don't need any prop or a model. So I have long arms, long hands, so I can just place my props in one arm, and the other arm I can take the image with camera or mobile or both. So it's easy for me. It's like a little bit of practice which you can do, and you will be right there, right? So again, a very, very well knit shot from Varanasi city. So you have to keep your eyes open when you are moving on the streets, because you never know what comes next. So be prepared, and keep your vision open. And the choice of zoom lens, you should have that. Whatever comes, you need to capture it through the lens. So that is the key. And just two colors, and they are like opposite in nature, warm and cold, both colors together, and just newly painted wooden background, and just a simple cattle, no more stuff, no more extra props. So that also makes your picture very pretty. So whenever you are in streets, so just make habit that you need to develop vision for a portfolio, a body of work. So for one travel, you find that you got to shoot 2, 3, 4 barbers maybe. Next time you shot couple of tea stalls, or the next time you came across some kids portraits. So just keep collecting those portraits side by side, and after few months you will go through your portfolio again, and you will find, okay, these are very impressive set of collection now, so we can make a portfolio. And then again, other one from Varanasi, very, very important picture, the young girl having breakfast with his dad, and she's the owner of this tea stall in Varanasi. And again, what a light, and father in the shadow is so good. So the whole picture is complete by these 2, 3 different props. So that makes images very interesting, right? So I can see your waves and your likes already on the pictures. So thank you very much for your appreciation. And again, as I'm telling you more about stories and portfolios, so on our Insta page, Indian Photo Tours, you can find us at @Indian Photo Tours. We are featuring portfolios during the whole lockdown, and again now also we are, portfolios are there. So you can just have a look on those portfolios and what interests you, and you can also get some guidance from what rest of the photographers are doing already. So it has to be a thematic. So you are invited to send us portfolio for our page, and we will love to feature them on Indian Photo Tours Insta page. Thank you very much. So this man was there, and in Meghalaya there is a craze of having black tea. So they don't put milk really in their tea. So he was like very intense and having tea, and then I took two different shots, and one just tea and then one drinking. So I thought maybe a collection of two shots together can be presented to give that more story and appeal to the image. And this lens is 85mm used, where the focus is just kept on the face rather than anywhere else. So always try to focus on the eye. That is very, very important. So let me serve you tea. Let me pour you a tea. And I have a kettle. I can pour you. Where is your glass, guys? I can pour you some. Okay. So from my side. So I hope we all meet very soon, and then we'll go together on some fantastic location with our cameras. Of course with social distancing on, but मिलना ज़रूरी है. अभी बहुत टाइम हो गया बिना मिले. So this was in our Lodhi colony graffiti walls, and my wife Millie Paul has taken this image for me, and so black and white looks fantastic in subjects where the color is not that important, or the power is just the white cups hanging, and then little silverish cattle in the foreground. So this was taken in Old Delhi few years back, and again very, very, like, the shop was just about to open and everything was just set, and it looks so fine art style, so good. So this is how you will get a lot of opportunities when you are around. And see the contrast, again Old Delhi, and so vivid tea stall, and calendars, and god, watch, your clock, everything is there in the image. Only thing is you just before drinking even that tea, you need to grab that moment, that that is important. I hope you are liking it. So good. So chai without pakoras and rusk is of no use, right? So blue background, again, it's so fascinating. So you can make good pictures on the street when you go. You don't need to just create those shots. You just need to see those shots. So that is also a part of art of seeing. How you see images around, it's about you as a photographer. So when you see, then of course you will try to shoot it in your camera. Otherwise, if you are not seeing it, and you will ignoring it every time, right? So again, a very colorful tea stall from Old Delhi, and blue doors, and a lot of rich, vivid colors in the background makes pictures so impressive. Only thing is just you need to click your shutter to freeze it. I told you I have long arms, so they are like a selfie stick, and I can just manipulate my compositions with my long hands. And so this was done in Bhutan, right? And it's a great place to be there. And tea at this place is so good, it's like out of the world. So this is what is wanderlust for photographers, that having tea in these kind of situations, and you are shooting also. So now see how light is playing its role, and low light, morning light. This is from Andamans, and then diagonally placed background. So you need to just rotate your camera, like every time. You don't need to take image like this. Maybe rotate it little bit so that you get a diagonal frame, and diagonal frame looks very good. Lines should not be always taken just straight. You can just make them little diagonal in your pictures, and it makes difference altogether. So it's like tea stall in just dusk, and from Mathura, images taken in Mathura, and it's like end of the day, 6:37 p.m. and light is so blue at the back. It's just the dusky light, and then tungsten light in the shop, which is making this picture dual tone. So one more ginger chai, adrak chai. It's fantastic for your throat. You will speak and you will sing better when you have adrak chai. So great going. And let me tell you one more story. Like you have seen photographers always moving in the past, but now future we need to be like this. So this was like taken before the lockdown, when the corona was already in place, and we were reluctant going out, but as a photographer we need to shoot couple of pictures, but then you need to wear mask all the time and keep away from the surfaces so that you don't touch them, and you need to avoid this virus, but then the show must go on, so we need to work throughout, and then we need to be safe as well. So this was a couple of images which were kept for you guys, and I hope you are enjoying this session, and we did lot of sessions. If you have joined also, and now all my sessions which we do in Instagram, you can grab them from IGTV, right? So IGTV, you can save the whole recording, and the point is we have done street portraits, we have already done black and white, we have then minimalism we did, low light also we did, and of course a lot of themes are coming up. So my point was, I need to know your quick queries so that we will sort out them, as many as we can, and so that you will be a better photographer after you launch yourself with a renewed look. So please let me know your queries right now. And today's topic is very impressive. It's all art of seeing. So whatever you see through your eyes and then you replicate them on your cameras, that is important for a photographer. And the hashtag goes art of seeing DP. So hashtag art of seeing DP. So this hashtag, already we are working on this hashtag from 2-3 days, and you will find a lot of people are already posting images. So pick out your images, and then let's see what is art within you. And of course minimalism will be you will get the minimalism video on IGTV in the middle of the week. You will get them. Don't worry. So all sessions are already being recorded, and you will get that. So Manish Bhai is chai lover. Okay, chai lover. Okay, everyone is chai lover. So chai is very important for all photographers, right? So a lot of I received a lot of queries about buying third-party lenses. right? So everybody is asking about whether we should buy third-party lenses or no. So of course you can buy third-party lenses if you need to save money, but you don't need to compare them with the parent lenses. Parent lenses are the brand lenses. If you are using Sony, you are using Sony lenses, you know the quality, you know the compatibility. You are using Nikon cameras and you are using Sigma lenses. Maybe some issues can be there because both are different brands, but to save money, people just tend to buy third-party lenses. So if you think that the report is good and you get good authentic reviews and you save a lot of money, then it's a good call. But if the lenses are expensive, the third-party lenses, so don't spend money on that. Instead, you go for your brand lenses and buy those lenses. That would be a better call. If you see Zeiss lenses and then Weiglander lenses, both are German technology lenses. They are good. But then Sigma, Tokina, Tamron, they are the Japanese made lenses, right? And if you talk about the lineup with all the brands, so you have L series in Canon, then you have nano crystal coating in Nikon. Those are their superior lenses. If you talk about Sony cameras, mirrorless technologies, so we have lenses which is like the best lenses we have are G Master lenses, very, very top-notch lenses. The optic quality is very superb, and then it's waterproof. We have using it for years in Holi, so all our lenses are safe, so no worry at all. And then a lot of lenses, the coatings are scratch resistant, so they will not get scratched easily, right? So those are important. And end of the day, the best thing from lens, what you need is the best quality of images. So if you think that your third-party lenses are creating flares when shooting against the light, when light is just falling in the lens, so you are not getting that look and contrast, so it means they are suffering with chromatic aberrations. So just watch that. So right, so I'll take one by one. Just be gentle on the queries because it's a small mobile to see, right? So I got confused choosing between 1855 and 55 235. No, there is no confusion in these three lenses. 1855 is always the first lens, the kit lens, and 55 200 is good lens for distant landscapes, wildlife, birding. So you need to keep both lenses. There is no replacement. They are not replaceable, both lenses. And then 35mm is a prime lens. It is 1.8 or 1.4, very good for shooting in low light. So that is important lens. But then the priority as goes is if you are doing street and wide angle photography, then 1855 is the first lens. And then for portrait and wildlife, as I said, 55 200 is the second option. So you need to have both the lenses in your APS-C sensor camera. So you can't replace them with each another. So I have a Sony A7 R3 and Canon 5D Mark IV. Sony pictures are coming more greenish in color. Any setting to be changed? First, you need Sony doesn't give any green color as such. So I think you have not using the auto white balance correctly. And I would advise you to go in menu and do initialization. So you can initialize your camera to factory settings. So then it would be perfect next time when you shoot. So and Canon colors are little subtle, Sony are little vivid. So if you don't like the vivid colors, then you can always get Sony to your picture setting to neutral rather than standard. So that could be your okay. So okay, 2000 after 2013 we are seeing each other. Okay, great. Shafqat from Kashmir. Okay, I remember you. Have a great time and regards to you and your family. Good to see you here. Don't get confused while shooting on street, because it's already a confusion on street. So you have to be very, very cool when you are shooting and just see the subject, compose it nicely, and wait for your turn, and don't get puzzled up. Yeah. So then normally when we are taking images and we are showing images, and people with APS-C cameras also sometimes get inferiority complex, and they think that pictures are not possible with the APS-C camera. So this is not the case at all. APS-C cameras are very, very good, and the more cameras in market are APS-C, and full frame cameras are lesser than APS-C market. And APS-C cameras are beautiful, small form factor, and they are affordable for our pocket also. And there is a Query Alpha 6500 with Sigma Art lens. They work very good. Sigma Art lens are supposed to be good. 35 1.4 is a good lens. And just go and compare it with the newly launched Sony 35mm 1.8 as well. So you can just compare price segment and the quality, so you will know which is suits you better. So the other query is older full frame camera due to budget constraint. Of course, you can buy second hand market is already there, and whenever you are buying a second hand camera, so just go through the shutter count, because that is important. How much frames the camera already used. And then the good thing to check is the warranty remaining. If the warranty is remaining in the camera, so it means it makes sense to buy it maybe at a little higher price. But if the warranty is already exhausted, so then price should be little down, because there is a risk that it won't get any problem in the future. So 18-135 kit lens for A6400 is very, very good option to buy as a newcomer, because this alone lens is wonderful. Your 18 becomes 27mm when it comes to full frame cameras. So, and 135 is closer to 200, more than 200mm. So it is very, very good combination for Alpha 6400. You get a bundle also. So you can go with that. Which profile picture is best for street photography? Profile picture standard is very good in most of the cameras. And sometimes, individual photographer, they like little dull colors, or, they don't like very, very warm colors. So in that case, neutral can be the second call. And if you are doing JPEG photography, you are not shooting raw photography, raw pictures. So then if you are shooting in overcast situation, so I would recommend you to go with vivid profile. So vivid would be very good. So, right. And then the other profile, which is sRGB, that is a color profile. So, so color profile is different, picture profile is different. So color profile is like you need to tune your camera, your computer, your software in the computer, and then your printer, all in same sync, so that the color correction would be same across all platforms. So that is color profile. So normally the default color profile is sRGB, but professional photographers, they like Adobe RGB. So if you put Adobe RGB in your camera menu, then your laptop should have a Adobe RGB in graphic card settings, and then in Photoshop also you need to set the color profile to Adobe RGB, so that everything is synced. So it doesn't mean you just set one profile in your camera and then you miss it from the other platforms, right? Using 24-40 full frame lens on 6100 APS-C, you can use it, there is no harm. And when you use 24, just remember that 24 is multiplied with 1.5, so it is closer to 36mm. And 240 also becomes, maybe you add 120 in that, so it becomes 360. So you get a magnification of 360mm, so that works very good. Only thing is, this lens is a little slower in telephoto. It is 3.5, 6.3. So you get a little bit of Like in poor light, sometimes it becomes slow. Otherwise, it's perfect. Photo walk, of course. Vinayak is asking about photo walk in Old Delhi. We'll do Old Delhi photo walk very soon. Now we are just going out around Delhi, and we are already seeing what is happening. So we are doing it. So don't okay. Very interesting question coming up. How we can overcome you bored with your style of images and you need to change the style. So Satish Siddharth is asking a very good query. Like, as a photographer, as an artist, you need to change and reinvent yourself all the time. If you don't change your images, even you don't like your images again, you will see them on your computer screen and you won't like it, because every time you are shooting same old stuff. So good is you have already identified that you are getting bored, because photographers are never bored with their work and they keep on carbon copying their work. So that is worst for an artist. So you should know your minus points, like you are not be very creative in one phase, so you should know that you are not being creative. So it's just you change your pace of your shooting. Like from street, you just change your pace to portrait, and if you are doing a lot of portrait, then come to street. Sometimes in between, shoot black and whites, shoot simple shots, like simplifying stuff. So then you are playing with your vision all the time, and just change your focal lengths to be new. Like one day you decide that, okay, I'll shoot everything with a 24mm lens. I won't using 50 or 70 or 105 of my zoom lens. So one day, if you are using APS-C sensor camera, so one day decide that all my pictures would be with 55mm lens. I won't be using 18 and 24 and 35 lens. So what happens is you get a different vision every time. So different vision means the composition style also changes from wide to tele to normal. So that is the best thing to do. So I also do this. So one time I will only carry 85 for portraiture. Maybe other day I will carry a 35mm. So when I'm carrying a 85 or 135, I'm getting bold, tight shots. But when I'm carrying 50mm or 35mm, I'm giving space to my portrait. So they are more environmental. So that works very good, right? How to manage a photographs? How to manage a photograph. Of course, the creativity is important in making pictures, and how to select a frame while clicking. And like in one chai store, you added an angle, and okay, yeah. So only thing is, whenever you see something happening, so dimensions are very important to see, and perspective are very important. So you need to align your lens in a way that pictures are done, and all pictures can't be with your eye level. You need to maybe shoot something from above, or sometimes from side, or maybe just a straight shot. So it's not that always I am shooting from my 6 feet view. I lean down. Maybe sometimes I just shoot from my toes. So that is important. So if you are on toes, you are just higher than the frame. So that makes very good perspective, and it will be a change also, right? So kit lenses are not fast, of course. Kit lenses are always so fast. They are not fast, they are slow rather, because kit lenses are 3.5, 5.6 aperture. So who have joined late, hello everyone, and we are here for your queries, and great to see everyone. Sony 6000 can use 100 to 400 lens. Of course, you can use a 100-400 lens, and of course crop factor is being added. So it's 150-600. It becomes 150-600. Very good for wildlife. So all APS-C sensor cameras can use APS full frame lenses. Okay. Only thing is 1.5 crop factor is multiplied with the focal length. Just remember that. So there is no harm using it, and the quality of the lenses are very superior because they are used to illuminate a bigger sensor. So when you are shooting on a smaller sensor, so of course the quality of the lens are very superior. So don't worry at all. Alpha 6100 is good for travel photography. It is now the entry level mirrorless camera in APS-C market, and the next level is 6400, then 6600 is also there. So 2-3 models are there. The older models were 6000, and then 6100 is an upgrade, newer sensor, very good. You can go with it. So how we can count the shutter count? Shutter count you can do it with your softwares, or it can be done in service center also. But newer camera you should not be worrying, because most of the cameras are used for 3 lakh shutters. So don't worry at all. You don't get that problem. Only professionals like us, they are using cameras like anything. So sometimes we get to check our cameras whether the life of the shutter is still there. So don't worry at all. Post-production Lightroom session, of course, what happens is our theory is like we need to take images perfectly from our camera first. The exposure should be perfect. It should be like perfect according to the location, and then it's time to get it into a Lightroom or a Photoshop. And don't think that if you don't make picture on street, so you can just bring it in Photoshop and it would be a better picture. No, first the picture, the element, everything need to be perfect when you are shooting, and then you can enhance the pictures later. So what kind of it's a good question again, very very important. Like, you know, okay, what is the post-production allowed in our street photography? So street photography is said to be the purest form of photography. So you can, minor cropping is allowed. Only problem is you can't make two things superimposed with each other in street photography. You are not allowed to place some elements which are not present when you have taken the image. Otherwise you can just do color correction, white balance correction in raw file, brightness, contrast, little bit of burn and dodge can be done, little bit of sharpening, that's it. And it should look realistic in street. The sky should look natural. It should not get any cast. So that is the key for post-production in street photography. And same goes with wildlife. Same goes with your photojournalism, news photography. Otherwise, if you see your fashion assignments or commercial assignments, you are free to do as you like. So you can set your colors, right? So setting, Manish is asking, setting for high contrast black and white photography. Many cameras you will find in picture mode, there is a black and white setting. If it works good, you can set that. If you are using mirrorless cameras, so best is the viewfinder will also appear black and white. So it give you a better perspective of images when you are seeing through the viewfinder. And one thing you all need to notice, just take an example, you have a color image and you are just doing a grayscale conversion in Photoshop, and you will see now after converting into black and white, the picture becomes dull. This is a normal thing happens. So now next step is we need to increase the contrast in the images so that you get that rich black tones. See, only important thing in black and white treatment is the color should look intense and rich. At the same time, the middle tone, which is gray in color, should be there in the image. If you increase the over contrast in your pictures, then that middle tone disappears. It makes more like a silhouette image. So just be aware when you are doing black and white processing. So contrast should be kept moderate, right? High contrast picture won't be black and white, pure black and white. They will be more like stark black and white, right? So gray tones are very important. Next question I'm taking: how come your pictures are so rich in colors? Okay, rich in colors picture means the exposures need to be balanced when you are shooting, and the white balance should be accurate. So whenever I am on streets, I never apply Kelvin color temperature. I rely on my camera's auto white balance because they are very accurate now. The newer generation cameras are with very good white balance. So what happens, I'm shooting maybe outside the street and I'm just going inside a shop. So light is changing very fast, and same is the color temperature. So every time it's like tungsten light, then daylight, then fluorescent light. So everything is changing. So if you are managing on Kelvin, so it would be a cumbersome affair for a photographer to set the color balance. So if you are on auto white balance, so it works fantastic because every time it keeps on changing. And the key to success for your pictures richness is again exposure. So exposure should be just what is required. It should not be dark because dark means it's underexposed. And if the exposures are underexposed, you will get dull colors. And if your exposures are over, it's too bright, then it's all diluted colors you will see. Right? So be aware that what, and good lesson to see exposure. Very important. Just note down this point in your mind. What our eyes sees, right? We need to replicate that color in our pictures. So in that way, you will see the realistic images, and the viewer will see that your pictures are very, very good in terms of exposure and color. The problem is the best cameras are our eyes. So they are the best camera, and the dynamic range of our eyes are beautiful. You can see in any light. You can differentiate the colors whenever you are seeing a bright light highlights and shadows together. Our eyes can differentiate very well. But when you pick up your camera and try shooting, then there is a problem. You need to set the exposure. You need to see the compensation. Then you decide the exposure, right? So you need to match your eyes. That is the simple way to get the perfect colors, right? So I hope you all will do the same, and you will. Sir, please come to Kolkata. Okay, I am dying to come to Kolkata because the streets are calling me. So all those streets are like I am dying to come, and of course I need to have some sweets also there, rasgullas especially. So I am coming very soon and let you know. Abhijit, thank you for inviting to Calcutta. So people on street for photography asking them not result in candid shoot. Oh yes. Don't ask people on the street to give you pose. That is a bad approach, right? So best is from a distance, first you take the image, go closer, then you shoot. And if you think that this person needs more attention and more talking, and you are looking for some particular portraiture, or some eyes are beautiful, you need to do a sit down portrait, then you talk to them. Otherwise, my way of doing it is I just go on the street, shoot the image, and just go for the next shot. I won't be talking or asking their name. You won't find name of the person in my captions, because people have that tendency to ask about name and where you are from, and then they will mark it in the comments also. But I never put any name in my caption. So that is how I do. So again, a third party lens query, Tamron 2875 2.8 versus 28 2.8 2470 2.8 G Master. Okay guys, again I am telling you very honestly, not only because I am ambassador of Sony, so I will praise that G Master are the most superior optics ever. That is true. Because we have been using all the lenses and we have been comparing it with the other brands as well. So I will say that 24 is a beauty in that lens, because you have a super wide at 2.8. 28 is not a super wide, it's just a starting of a wide angle lens. So 3 millimeter, 4 millimeter makes a lot of difference in wide angle. So, and G Masters are supposed to be one of the sharpest lenses. But then of course I know the price difference is huge sometimes. So you just do according to your pocket, but you can't compare these two lenses. Because prices are different, the quality is also different. So don't compare them. In street, if there is a human, should be looking at the camera or not in the camera is preferred. Very good query, very good query. We can have both styles of images. There is no hard and fast rule on this. We call them off-camera portraits, where off-camera means the subject is not looking in the camera. Like if you are taking my portrait, I am looking there. So this is an off-camera style portrait. And if I am looking right in the camera, so it's like eye contact portrait. So both are very good. Sometimes the story is there with the off-camera portrait. Sometimes the portrait gives more, real inner self with eye contact. So it depends, right? It depends how you need to do it. So prime lenses to add in the kit. Whoever needs a prime lens, always make sure, if you are a APS-C user, camera users, so 35 millimeter should be kept as the first prime lens. And if you are using a full frame camera, then 50 millimeter, around 50 millimeter is the lens. So both are the standard focal length for their formats. So that works very good. And later you can always add, if you are more on portraiture, you like portraits, then you can always add 85 millimeter to your kit. So that is good. So thank you very much for your queries, and how to edit monochrome. Please make a video on that. Okay. Classic view photography. We'll make a video and show you how we work with our black and white. Don't worry. Okay. So I can see all our friends also there, and thank you very much for answering the queries. Okay, this was the session kept for this only. Okay, another adapter to use Nikon F mount lenses on Sony cameras. Yes, of course you can use your Nikon lenses, Canon lenses, even medium format lenses on mirrorless cameras, Sony cameras. The adapter is Photodiox is one company. You can check it on Amazon, you will get it. They are Chinese made adapters marketed by B&H in USA. So you can find that. Sometimes some adapters are manual focus. So if your lens is manual focus, so you don't need a adapter with a autofocus mechanism. So buy manual focus adapters. And always make a note that adapter will not kill the image quality of your images, because the adapter is just a hollow piece of metal, just making the gap between your mirrorless cameras and the lens which is designed for a mirror camera. There is no optics involved, so don't worry. Only thing is, sometimes when you use adapters and third-party lenses, your focusing becomes little sluggish. So, but of course you can use them, so don't worry. One factor why we should switch to full frame cameras, of course. Techie with lenses is asking. I already explained that APS-C cameras are fantastic. Don't worry at all. You need to just concentrate on the images. That is more important than buying a full frame camera. Only thing is, the full frame is very good when you are cropping the images. Like I'm using like 7R M4 camera, which is 60 megapixel. And yesterday, the lunar eclipse, we were shooting on APS-C crop mode. So even at crop mode, I was getting a 26 megapixel image. So, and in wildlife, sometimes you need to crop the image. You need a full frame camera to get that megapixel right. And especially we are shooting poor light, and you get noise with smaller sensors. So upgrading the sensor size will always help you to get fine results, right? So which preferred model? Sony cameras or any camera you need to buy, just prepare your budget first and then try to get the latest released model in that budget. That is the best thing to buy a camera. Don't overburden your pocket, right? Fixed focus lenses are fast. Of course, they are very fast. Kuldeepak ji is asking, is it is ethical to share street portraits images when subject perhaps not aware? Permission, you don't worry about permissions, because sometimes if you ask permission and people will just try to say no every time, so then you will not grow as a street photographer. But of course, if we are taking just very tight shots, close up, so we need to take their permissions, yes. Or if they don't allow you or us to do the portrait, then we will not be like pursuing the portrait. We should leave them alone. And it's not that we can't force anyone to get a picture clicked, right? So how many lenses do I have is very, very good question. I have never counted the lenses, and lenses are very close to my heart. All the lenses, Nikon, Canon, Pentax, Mamiya, Hasselblad, Sony, Zeiss, everything is lined up. We have very small space to live because our equipments are enjoying the spaces at home. So we are proud to be living with those equipment, right? So thank you very much, everyone. And of course, next, please raise your queries again as well. And it's time to go. And before we just leave, the final song for everyone, right? तेरे दर पर सनम चले आए, तू ना आया तो हम चले आए, चले आए, चले आए, तेरे दर पर सनम चले आए। बिन तेरे कोई आस ही ना रही, बिन तेरे अब तो प्यास ही ना रही, बिन तेरे कोई प्यास ही ना रही, कितने तड़पे थे प्यास ही ना रही, कितने तड़पे थे प्यास ही ना रही। लड़खड़ाए कदम चले आए, तू ना आया तो हम चले आए, चले आए, चले आए, तेरे दर पर सनम चले आए, तू ना आया तो हम चले आए, चले आए, चले आए। See you next week with some more topics. Take care. Bye bye.